part in my journey has defined me most. I can't really think. I think everything in that I've gone through has defined who I am today.
Right.
But I think the common theme amongst all of them really is about how I've learned to be able to overcome challenges and how I have evolved as somebody who doesn't just produce results but also produce other leaders. I used to think na ang vulnerability is actually a weakness. When I was starting off as a leader, parang hindi pwede magpakita ng vulnerability kasi people will take advantage of you. But now, vulnerability is actually a strength because when people can relate to you, they see you as a person, they're more than willing to follow you. The ripple of positive change really starts with shifting the mindset of leaders from I am a decision maker to I am a change maker.
Hello everyone, welcome to Build Different, a leadership podcast where we all strive to build ourselves better through the different episodes that we share with you weekly. My name is Jasper, your host for this session. Have you ever had a coach? Ooh. Our guest for today is a coach to coaches, coach to leaders. She is a multi-awarded executive coach, master trainer, and leadership development advocate. She is known for propelling growth by coaching the change makers, visionary leaders, coaches, and teams, helping them achieve breakthrough results and create sustainable impact. With over 3 decades of senior leadership experience, including as general manager of CNN Philippines and airtime sales head for Sky Cable, she brings more than 3,000 hours of professional coaching experience to her work. She has been recognized as Best APAC Coach Gold 2023, Silver in 2022, Best Executive Coach in 2021, and named among the top 100 most influential coach leaders in the world. Wow. Her mission: to empower those who lead and inspire others, sparking exponential growth in organizations, communities, and beyond. Help me in welcoming CEO of Coaching for Exponential Leadership, Carla Villanueva Manas, PCC. Carla, welcome to Build Different.
Hi, Jasper. Thank you. Thank you. It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you, and thank you so much for allowing us to get to experience you and know your story in this episode. So, Carla, this is Build Different. It's a leadership podcast, as I've mentioned a while back. So, let us get into the kind of leader that you are. Carla, if you're going to be sort of define yourself as a leader, how would you define that? And how has that style of leadership that you have evolved over time? Kasi ang dami mo ng rules, di ba?
Yeah, that's right, Jasper. So I think I can describe my leadership as somebody who's not just focused on results, but also on empowering relationships, working on relationship, empowering people, building capacity. But of course, I didn't start out that way. No, how my leadership style has evolved through time is I started out as a bad leader. Like, di ba, built differently lang naman to, di ba? So, sige, I will be very open. No? I started out as a not so good leader because my own leadership style before was very directing, command and control style. Like, I was in charge. You know, I needed to deliver. But through time, that has evolved. I created more space to really get to know the people and be more empowering. I became I was coached. And I became a coach myself. So it has shifted, no? My leadership style now is not just to take charge, but how do I develop people to take charge themselves?
I love it. Diba? Empowering others as well by your own experience. Diba? So the shift got in there. Diba? When you also experience the change, probably how people react to your kind of leadership. So it's nice. Now you're teaching the coaches now and teaching the people under the coaches as well. So a while back, when I introduced you, you've worn many hats, and I've even experienced that because you were my boss back in Sky Cable. Now, from sales head in Sky to CNN Philippines, of course, as a general manager, to award-winning executive coach. Grabe, parang ang daming dinaanan, Carla. But what part of your journey do you feel most defines who you are today?
Wow. So, yeah, that was such a great time working together in Sky Cable, right, Jasper?
Best times.
So, one of the best times in my life. When I look back, what part in my journey has defined me most? I can't really think. I think everything in that I've gone through has defined who I am today.
Right.
But I think the common theme amongst all of them really is about how I've learned to be able to overcome challenges and how I have evolved as somebody who doesn't just produce results, but also produce other leaders. So like you, like it's not just about leadership, like people that I've worked with, I find so much joy when I see them really achieve their dreams and live what's their gift, their purpose. Like you started out in sales, doing hosting, now you're like this podcaster, influencer, host that's very in demand. And then we have other people that I've worked with who are into design, into singing, into hosting, and into leadership as well. So that is what I think that has been what has been defining for me is that when I'm able to see the success of people that I have been able to work with or have had a relationship with that I've been able to support.
Ika nga, parang yung bunga.
Yes,
Before there, of course. I think that is really like a defining factor for sure. Kasi nga, it's not just getting to see what you were able to do, but then get to see what other people achieved because of your help.
Yes, and dati Jasper, parang ang tingin mo parang yung success mo, yung sarili mo lang, yung what you've been able to achieve, kung naging valedictorian ka, mataas ba yung grades mo, di ba? Parang very solo, very myopic, ako lang. Pero yung defining, na-realize ko na yung impact ko is not just about the impact to myself and how I'm contributing to others. Yung impact ko sa kanila, how they've been able to grow. And I think that's the one that makes you very humble, no? Na hindi lang yung sarili mo. So, nag-expand na yung pananaw ko dun sa impact na gusto kong gawin.
Nice. Parang I like it. It's magnified impact already, which is transcending beyond the self. Amazing. Okay, so I know that you've had your own story, having a bout with COVID-19. So how did your experience with COVID-19 reshape your perspective in terms of life and leadership?
Wow, that was just such a life-changing moment for me. I think my COVID experience changed me. I was one of the first. Patient 480, I don't think I will ever forget that number kasi I was one of the first 500 to be hospitalized.
Parang ano siya, no?
Diba? Parang may badge na
500 millionaires or
I know.
something.
Patient 480. And I really didn't think I would survive. In fact, I celebrated my 50th birthday in the hospital.
Unforgettable.
In Makati, unforgettable. And how does that define me? I think if I look back, it gave me an opportunity to pause and evaluate how I've been living my life. Like, I've been very happy with the way I was living my life and what I've been able to accomplish. But the question there was, if my life was going to end today or tomorrow, ito na ba yung best contribution ko sa mundo? And I think that made me reflect. At that time, I was already an executive coach and I was coaching leaders. And I figured, kung I was coaching leaders and then I was coaching one leader, 1,000 ang employees nila. And then I coached 10 leaders, so 10,000 employees ang impact, so exponential impact. But what if I could train more coaches? So yung 10,000 ko, magiging 100,000 if I train 10 more coaches. Then so exponential impact. And that has, I think, that was the seed, no, that was planted in me to stretch myself na hindi lang yung ginagawa ko, but how do I develop other people, no, na to train. So right now, after 5 years since COVID, I've been able to train more than 100 plus coaches who are making an impact in their own field or their industry, not just in the Philippines, but all over the world, no. And another thing that has that I've learned from that experience really is to surrender control, because I always wanted to be in control. Like, ako dapat kontrolado, parang it's coming from fear. But that experience taught me to really surrender to God. That God is in control, that there is somebody higher, bigger than me. And I needed to just trust that He has His own plan for me. Kung kukunin niya ako that day, parang I would allow it. Parang it's more, hindi ako magpipigil. Parang I'm ready, parang ganyan. Because God is in control. I trust His plans for me, plans for my life, plans for my family. And I think that one has really carried me forward. No? Yung shifting from fear. Ano mangyayari pag wala na ako? Ano mangyayari sa pamilya ko? Ano mangyayari sa buhay ko? Pero more, God, I surrender. This is your life. You've given it to me as a gift and I surrender it. So parang mas magaan day to day now. Kasi whatever gifts I have, parang bonus na. Bonus na lang. I'm so grateful for every moment, for every experience, even for as simple as my breath. Kasi di ba pag sa COVID, di ka makahinga. So parang just breathing now. Parang literally at the time, di ba, hirap na hirap kang huminga. Parang now just to take a breath. Parang for me, such a gift already, such a blessing. Every breath is really a blessing.
Ang galing na. I mean, I love how a negative experiences like that really created how positive ripples for you in changing not just your life, but having that perspective, changing more lives around you, di ba? I love it also how you attack that moment. Kasi minsan, others would just cave in and again, give in to fear, but you somehow allowed yourself to just embrace what it is that is given to you and positivize it, di ba? So I think that's still a mark of a great leader. So speaking of leader and transitioning into you being a coach already, as best APAC coach in 2022, what do you think sets transformational leaders in today's, sets you apart in today's world, the transformational leaders?
I think the best transformational leaders go beyond care for people, go beyond courage, and go beyond commitment. It's really all about, transformation is all about embracing how they can make a greater impact. It's also about embracing change. It's about continuous improvement. It's about asking yourself, how can I be better? What's that 1% thing that I can do to become better? Because that is the one that creates transformation. When you can ask yourself, I'm really at a good place, my team is at a good place, my company is at a good place, but what else can we do? What's next? But when you can ask that question, and when you are ready to do the hard work that accompanies that what's next, embracing that unfamiliarity, that difficulty of change, I think that's really what makes a transformational leader.
I love it. Challenging the status quo, kumbaga. Bawal petics. And that's how you evolve also, the practice, and contribute better to the people around you who you coach.
Yeah.
So what's a coaching moment that left a lasting impact on you? Meron bang specific moment for you in your coaching career?
Ang dami, pero siguro I can think
on top of your mind
top
right
of my
now.
mind
Parang,
na I can think of siguro, I was coaching one leader, one CEO of a multi-billion company. And her challenge was imposter syndrome. Like, she would always, outside, externally, people would look at her very confident, very, very experienced, very competent. Pero deep inside, she would ask herself all the time. She would be filled with fear. Like, chamba lang ba to? Or magaling ba talaga ako? So she would lie awake at night, di siya nakakatulog, filled with a lot of anxiety. Which, that's just like a lot of leaders who are at the top. They're filled with doubt also. So I think it was memorable for me kasi through our time together, we coached for about 10 months, is that we really unearthed, the root of her fears, her doubts towards herself, what was causing it, and to embrace her gifts. That she doesn't have to be perfect all the time, but what's more important is her heart to give, her heart to be able to serve, and all the skills. She may not have everything, but she can learn that. So when she shifted from her lack, like ano yung wala ako, to an abundance of and embracing her gift. Parang that's where I saw the shift, no? Na parang, wow, she was already doing a great job. That's why she was the CEO. Pero at the same time, there was a lot of fear. But when she shifted, it became living her life with joy. So when she was leading the company, parang mas masaya na siya, mas magaan, and then lumago pa yung kumpanya niya, more and more nag-expand pa, not just in the Philippines, but even regionally. So I think that was a memorable moment for me.
I love it. I mean, I love it that you mentioned about vulnerability, because I think that was the key also for her to transition into breaking through into becoming a better leader. No?
Yes.
So you have to, I mean, at least, I think parang it's about, you lift the level of awareness of people about themselves so that they could conquer whatever it is, a hurdle that they have to go through or go beyond from. And well, siguro if you could share more about how you help leaders navigate their burnout, emotional fatigue, usually ganun yung issue, diba?
Yeah.
Especially in high-stake roles, just like what you've mentioned a while back.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm glad you mentioned about self-awareness. It really starts with self-awareness. So burnout is really a challenge. Emotional, which you said emotional fatigue, no? Burnout, emotional fatigue. That's really the common challenge for leaders in top positions, C-suite leaders, no? Kasi they're doing so much. They're responsible for a lot of things. And it's lonely at the top. A lot of leaders say, lonely at the top, wala akong kausap dito. Because everybody is, they're managing everyone.
Exactly.
So it can get lonely, di ba? So talagang the pressure is really on their shoulders. So how we work through it when I work with leaders like that who are experiencing this, even I myself have experienced it, is we look at the root cause of the burnout. More often than not, it's not the workload, but it's the mindset. How do they look at the work? How do they look at themselves? How do they look at their schedule? What their deliverables are? Oftentimes, the pressure is the one that makes them burnt out and that makes them emotionally fatigued. It's the second-guessing themselves. It's the judging themselves. It's about the fear of failure na baka hindi okay. Instead of embracing also the triumphs, no? Yung sometimes they forget na to celebrate the triumph. So how we work together is we built in intentional strategic self-care that they need to take a pause to celebrate these wins. They need to recognize what they're doing really well, but also to ask themselves how they can be better, and to also look at high leverage action points. How can they make the work that they do, the pace that they're on, more self-sustainable so that they can focus on the more strategic tasks and expand what they're able to do. Kasi sa dami ng tasks, they need to be able to also prioritize which ones are important and then figure out how can they maybe outsource, transfer, delegate, assign, or do away with other things that are taking away their time, but the impact is very small. So that's how we work through burnout and emotional fatigue. No? So emotional fatigue naman is the same concept, but it's really all about looking at themselves and where the emotions are coming from, learning to be more self-aware, taking a pause, managing those emotions, and learning to shift that emotion and looking at it from a different perspective.
I like that. Parang removing the blind side of somebody, diba, in terms of leadership. And that would be liberating for them as well and will allow them to expand in terms of how they run a company. Now, we've talked about creating a lot of positive ripple effect of the change that you integrate, of course, in your coaching. What does it look like in practice? Could you cite probably a specific example of how that ripple effect of positive change is, how it works?
So it's the ripple of positive change really starts with shifting the mindset of leaders from I am a decision maker to now I am a change maker, or now I am an impact maker. So when that shift happens, the work that they do, for example, in delegation, as a leader, I don't just delegate work because I want to offload from me. I delegate work because I'm an impact maker. I delegate work that will help the person I'm delegating to grow. So expanding their capacity, their skills, training them to take on bigger responsibilities. So the intention is what makes it different.
Right.
So if you're that kind of leader na transformational, and if you want to create exponential impact, I call it exponential leaders, because what they do is not just about delivering the results ng short term, but it's about long term. In the long term, it's about how do I create a sustainable leadership team? How do I develop leaders? So that the positive impact, and then the positive impact is not the work that I do doesn't just impact my team, but also my organization, my community at large. Like how do I use my talent and our talents to be able to give back and support others, to uplift others. So yun yung exponential or positive impact.
Nice. And I think it's nice, and I think you do that also, make them realize that while you do that, there is an explanation, I suppose, from their side to the employees na I'm doing this because this is for you as well.
Yes.
Having them realize that is very powerful.
Yes, yes. Kasi kung hindi, bigyan kita ng trabaho, parang people will resist and say, dagdag trabaho, dami ko nang ginagawa. But if it's because it's actually helping you as a leader, as you said, no, then they become more open and become more joyful. And because it's the value is for them, balik sa kanila yun eh. While I'm doing it, it's actually a gift. So it's not as heavy, no? If they didn't understand the description or the value, the reason why they're being given these tasks.
I don't know if I think we've gone through a couple of these already, but what's a mindset shift you've coached others through that you believe everyone should experience?
Siguro looking at mistakes or failure. Kasi we've been so programmed since we were young that don't fail. Kailangan mataas ang grade. Huwag bagsak, di ba? Kasi pag bagsak, alam mo yan, Jasper, di ba? Pag bagsak pa rin yung standard natin, di ba? Kailangan huwag bagsak, huwag talo, huwag ka papatalo, kailangan panalo ka, di ba? Kahit pa nag-race sa school, everything that we do is all about being number one or being a winner. And so, paglaki natin, we look at winning as the only option and then failure as talo. So pag talo ka, parang kawawa ka and ang sama ng loob mo. The shift there is that yes, sometimes you will fail and a lot of leaders, a lot of businesses, business owners create businesses that they fail. Sometimes it takes multiple businesses before they find the right one that will succeed. So it's the shift from what does failure mean to me? What lessons can I get from failure? And how can I use that failure to make me stronger, to make me more victorious, maybe to... so there's winning in failing. Hindi lang failing is losing. So yun yung shift siguro na very, very important.
Hindi siya black and white, kumbaga.
Oo.
When you lose, you could win.
Yes.
Maybe later on, maybe not now, but it's still a win, actually.
Yeah, it's
because
always
it's the experience
a win.
that you get
experience.
from it.
What you get out of it. Kasi hindi lang yung winning is getting the top prize. But also, what are you getting in terms of lesson? In fact, the most successful people are the ones that have actually fallen very hard. Yung mga may malaking failure. Kasi natututo sila eh. If they're able to use that failure. So, yung tingin mo ngayon sa failure is that a loss.
So, in the practice, Carla, of coaching, how do you personally stay sharp and inspired whenever you coach in your practice?
So ako, Jasper, I'm a lifelong learner. Like, I really like to learn. And it's funny, I actually get energy from the breakthroughs of my clients. So parang every time I see them shift, create results in their lives and their teams when they celebrate their breakthroughs, I get energy from that. And I get inspired, pag nag-shift sila. So lifelong learning. And at the same time, I also invest in my own mentor. I have my own coach as well. Just like I am a coach to many, I also have my own accountability coach to help me grow. And of course, the support of people around me. I get the best support. I surround myself with people who are very uplifting. And that really keeps me sharp all the time. And of course, self-care, very important.
That is right. Inside and out. The community that you build around you as well. Okay, so how do you balance naman vulnerability with authority when leading others?
How do you balance authority and vulnerability? I think it depends on the situation, but I'm such a believer now of vulnerability, of being authentic. So I think when you are authentic, there's no need to balance it. Kasi authenticity is actually power. As long as it's focused on, you're still focused on the results that you want to create and the relationships that you want to have. So it's being cognizant of being in control of yourself, your emotions, your feelings, but at the same time relating those feelings with other people. So I think that's the balance that I create.
Right. I think it's what you're saying is somehow the receiver, the person you're talking to, has an idea of where you're coming from, making them acknowledge and know where you're coming from. But at least it doesn't feel like they're just being said to, they're just being told to do something.
Yes,
I'm saying this because I'm coming from this.
Yes.
Parang...
Yeah, you hit it on the nail. So talagang importante na alam nila. Kasi pag kilala mo sila, minsan nga, di mo kailangan explain eh. Kasi alam na nila, you have to have a shared vision.
Yes.
Na pareho kayo na pinupuntahan, pareho kayo na gustong gawin or i-create. And then at the same time, I used to, it's funny, I used to talking about vulnerability and control and strength. I used to think na ang vulnerability is actually a weakness. When I was starting off as a leader, parang hindi pwede magpakita ng vulnerability kasi people will take advantage of you. But now, vulnerability is actually a strength because when people can relate to you, they see you as a person, they're more than willing to follow you or to be with you in this journey because they can relate. If they can relate or they can, they're on the same boat, no?
Right.
They can identify with where you're going and what you want to do, where you want to go. Parang mas gusto nilang sumama sa'yo. Kaysa yung you're so off, yung malayo ka because you don't want to show your vulnerability. In fact, now, di ba, influencers and leaders, di ba, yung vulnerability is actually a strength. When you are able to show who you are, binavalue yan ng mga tao. It's a human need already to be able to connect.
Yes. It's a mirror effect, I think, when they get to see that they're experiencing something that you're experiencing also, then it's a natural flow na they're gonna follow you because of the influence that you have on them, Because, somehow, there's a mirror nga na parang, ay, I see myself there.
Yes.
Maybe I could follow. Maybe I could improve.
Yes.
Because
Saka totoo.
may pinagdaanan
diba?
din.
Totoo, diba? Parang totoo
Authenticity.
ka, hindi ka, authentic ka, hindi kayo. Kasi pag in control ka, parang may tinatago ka eh. Diba? Meron kang ayaw ilabas. Pero pag authentic, the more successful ones like you, you're just all out there, diba? Parang you just really show who you are, your struggles, your challenges, your pain. And I think that's also important as a leader to show that it's okay to be in pain, it's okay to have challenges, it's okay to say, I don't know. But I will find out, right?
Exactly.
I'll find out how, or I'll get somebody who knows how. So it's that vulnerability.
That's
It starts there.
But otherwise, it's going to be an impossible standard. And you'd feel like that's the actual standard. Whereas, it's better if you, as you mentioned, you fail, then sometimes you struggle as well. And you make them see that as well. So they could relate and be on the same boat of success, I think, journeying there. Now, you've mentioned that, being vulnerable nga is a misconception about leaders. So what are the other misconceptions do you think could you share with us about strong leaders?
I think one of the misconceptions that we have about strong leaders is that they have everything, they know everything, they have everything together. The truth of the matter is that they also have their doubts. They also have their fears. But they just go through the doubts to get to their goal. And that, having doubts is actually not a weakness. So I think that's a common misconception na hindi porket nasa taas ka na, wala ka ng doubt, wala ka ng fear. You have to have everything together. Because I think the best leaders are the one who are self-aware to say, I don't know everything. Who can say, may matututunan pa ako. Kasi pag sinabi mo na alam ko na lahat yan, hindi ka na mag-grow. So yun yung misconception natin na ang best leader dapat alam lahat ng sagot. Kasi I think that in my experience and what I have observed, the best leaders are the ones who actually can say, I don't know everything.
I like that. And probably just converting it into an office setting. Parang it's nice talaga. I appreciate it. Like before, diba, when we open this as a session, like an open forum na, okay, what are your ideas or something? You pick their brains as well.
Yeah.
And then when you get to see the leaders na talagang acknowledging na, okay, yeah, we could implement that. It's nice because it's not just enriching the leader, but everybody else because they feel that sense of esprit de corps that I could contribute something and improve this company with my help as well. So there's empowerment.
Yeah, and their ideas, more often than not, the ideas from the other people are actually even greater than the leader. So it's about harnessing that gift, that talent, di ba? Kasi hindi naman po pwedeng isa lang yung may ideas. It's better, it's stronger when it's a collective effort.
So bagay, you hire them for their talent.
Yeah.
Might as well trust them.
Yeah,
Diba?
yes.
Now, I think Psalm 107 and Songs of Thanksgiving have been a part of your healing. How does music and scripture influence your leadership style?
Siguro for me, it's about, well, number one, I always start my day with reading the scripture, no? I don't naman sing, but I like listening to music, no? And for me, how it has influence is really grounding me on my purpose. Like, how do I enrich my gifts, my God-given talents, and how do I use it for the greater good to be able to create that ripple effect, no? I think that's the one that has really been how I've been using that, no? Coming from my own experience and coming from my own journey in life.
So Carla, finally, at least for this session, I've learned a lot for sure. Our viewers are learning a lot. Let's talk about legacy. Carla, this is sort of kind of your second life coming from the pandemic. What legacy would you like to leave in this world?
Wow. Legacy. I think I want to be known as somebody who uplifts other people, who shares what I know and really lives that mark that I left. Every place that I've been in, every relationship that I've had, people leave better from where they started out. Nakakontribute ako doon, whether as a client, as a friend. And I want to be remembered as somebody who lived well, who loved a lot, maybe who laughed a lot also. That's something that I'm trying to put in more joy, savoring every moment. I'd also like to be remembered as someone who's not perfect, who made a lot of mistakes, who was able to overcome them, and who's vulnerable enough to say, I'm not perfect. I'm just doing my best. I'm learning as I go along. And I'm bringing in everyone who wants to learn with me. And it's a journey of life. So that's basically, I guess, how I want to be remembered. No?
Very nice legacy. Now, guys, we're going to be pausing for a short break. Maybe you could think about your own legacy. Hi, this is Jasper with a leadership tip. Create a culture of excellence and hospitality. Great restaurant leaders don't just manage operations, they inspire teams to deliver unforgettable dining experiences. Lead by example by fostering a culture of respect, teamwork, and continuous improvement. Invest in staff training, prioritize customer satisfaction, and adapt to industry trends. A restaurant thrives when its leader is as passionate about people as they are about food. Now back to the episode.
The Built Different podcast would like to thank Henry's Cameras, Power Mac, Hollyland, Ugreen Philippines, Shoppertainment Live, Kappa Cabina, Surge Digital Media, Madcap Productions, Days Media Group, Jazz Up Communications.
Welcome back to Built Different, and this time, customary, we always do our game we call Different, Different, Same, Same. So by different, different, same, same, of course, we have different guests. We have some different points of view, but somewhere along the way, there are similarities as well. So we're going to be delving into that. Now, specific to Carla, who coaches, we have a game called Helpful or Unhelpful. Okay, so because ito yung mga advice that we have been hearing everywhere, but then there are probably some things you're going to be affirming on, others we're going to be negating, or probably there's a better way to reframe it. So we're going to be delving into those. So iba-ibang scenario. So let's begin with the first advice. Fake it till you make it, Carla. Is that helpful, unhelpful?
Mixed. So unhelpful when helpful when you use it to get courage and confidence. Meaning, di mo pa alam masyado pero aaralin mo, but you have to deliver. So helpful siya. Pero unhelpful siya if you're pretending to be someone you're not, or something that you know you're an expert pero hindi naman pala. So mixed.
Kumbaga when you say na parang pride or ego lang siya, or yung isa, yung parang okay, you just bought a little bit of time for you to be able to really be or play the part or get into that role. So kumbaga it's a promise to yourself na no, I will make it because I have time.
Yes, aaralin mo. So, kunyari, new leader ka. Hindi mo pa kilala yung tao, hindi mo kilala yung industry, hindi mo kilala yung produkto. So, inaaral mo, but you're there. So, you're kinda learning the ropes. So, it's giving you confidence. And it's coming from, aaralin ko yun. There's a commitment. Pero kung nagpre-pretend ka na, doktor ako, hindi naman ako doktor, hindi nakakasama ka doon, or finance person na ka, pero hindi ka naman pala marunong mag-finance, baka nagkaroon na ng problema yung finances ng company. So, that's when it's harmful.
I think that's the operational term, the commitment to do better and to really work on it for you to make it. Yes. But ito yung pangalawa, never show weakness. Yung pag-usapan natin yung kanina. Diba?
So mixed also.
Helpful.
Mixed. So helpful siya when don't show weakness, when you need to show strength so that people will believe in you, you'll be credible, and you just need courage, no, to get that confidence.
Our next statement, never show weakness. Helpful or unhelpful?
Mixed. So helpful siya when you don't show weakness so that people don't take advantage of you. Yan. So not helpful siya, helpful siya so that people don't take advantage of you. Not helpful siya pag you're not authentic. Kasi talaga naman pala hindi ka magaling doon, but you're claiming you are not good, so you don't learn or you don't grow. So that's when it's mixed. Depende sa application.
Interesting thought. Okay, say yes to every opportunity. Siyempre kapag leader ka, you want to do that. Come on, let's do this. But is it helpful? Is it unhelpful? And
mixed also. Lahat ng question mo, mixed, no? Mixed. Helpful siya yung saying yes to everything. Helpful siya because you grow, you help others. And you contribute. So that's when it's helpful. You get the opportunity and you maximize it. Not helpful when it's at the point that you're breaking down or burn out or stretching yourself too thin and you're not able to focus on your purpose, or when you say yes to things that are not aligned to your purpose or to your bigger goal. Yung who you are, yung parang what you want to contribute.
How about leaders eat last?
Ayan, hindi na mixed yan. Helpful. Kasi that really follows the stewardship, no? The servant leader. na we are here for a purpose to be able to contribute to help others, uplift them, and to help them grow. And so talagang leaders will eat last because we are there to subsume our ego so that we can support other people.
Service.
Service.
So work hard, play hard.
Oh. Parang ano ko doon I think mixed rin siya. So when is it helpful? Work hard, play hard. It's helpful because you get balance. It's more fun, it's more joyful to enjoy your life, no? So it's good, no? Work hard, play hard. It's not helpful when you always just focus on working hard and then you delay the playing hard. You say, work hard muna ako, work hard, tsaka na ako mag-play hard. Kasi wala naman yung timing, di ba? So, importante doon ng work hard, play hard, yung timing din. Kasi, dapat you do it for in increments or milestones. So, hindi mo pwede mag-intay ka kasi mababurn out ka. And also, there's another, maybe third equation ng work hard, play hard. Maybe you can actually play while working. Make it joyful.
Exactly.
Making it fun. Hindi naman kailangan seryoso eh. Hindi naman kailangan talagang like us, di ba, when we were working together, is kahit na talagang, achievers na lahat and they were really working, burning the night candle. Pero at the same time, people were enjoying, di ba? Ikaw, top ano ka before.
Pero kanta-kanta lang sa office,
oo, pero ang output mataas. Parating milestone, parating mataas yung benta, parating nakakakuta, nakaka-target. But you were enjoying. So, baka hindi kailangan na parating seryoso, di ba?
Actually, so it's a culture siguro that you should build in the company, no?
Yeah.
Na you're
it can
working
be fun,
but you're playing at the same time.
Saya-saya kaya nun.
Actually, tara, balik na lang tayo. But kidding aside, ito na yung last. Trust your gut.
Okay.
Helpful, unhelpful?
Mixed, depending sa application. So, it's helpful when you're so aligned to yourself and you're self-aware that your gut will tell you the right thing. So parang kumbaga your gut is so attuned to your needs and what's good for you. It's unhelpful if you're not so aligned, you're not so clear. So baka mamaya yung trust your gut mo will lead you to places that may not be helpful for you or not be in the right, supporting you in the right way.
Amazing. Grabe, I love how we challenge all the items, di ba? Parang isa lang yung outright, this is it. But there are two sides or even three, di ba?
Yeah.
Which is actually good because there are statements, there are advices out there because somehow it's based on experience as well. And it's coming from somewhere else. And I think the discussion that we just had is about that, diba? How you navigate also your leadership style from errors that you committed and from the successes. So both of them are helpful. Sometimes have been or had been unhelpful, but nevertheless, later on, you are still up for a win in every loss or in every little successes that you had. So Carla, thank you so much for joining us right here in our podcast. We learned a lot. I learned a lot and it's nice to really be back with you in the same space. So parang the vibes is going.
Yeah.
I feel the positivity radiating from you and I feel that you're really enjoying this life that you have right now.
Definitely. Thank God. Thank God. And thank you, Jasper, for this opportunity. It's been it took a long time to arrive, but finally it's here. So I enjoyed the time. I learned from you as well. And I hope that all of you learned a lot also from our talk today.
That's right. Carla, final message to everyone and probably invite them also, maybe be coached by you or be a coach themselves and to your socials too.
Okay, so everyone who's watching, thank you for tuning in today to the podcast.
Yeah, Build Different podcast.
Build Different podcast of JCI. So such a really wonderful concept. I wish I had this when I was starting out as a leader. Super, super helpful. So please follow me on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. My name is Carla Villanueva Manas. I'm sure it will appear here. There's somewhere there will appear. Connect with me. If I can help you in any way, just shout out a message to me. If you want to be coached, go to info. Email me at info@carlavmanas.com, or I can maybe refer other coaches as well who can support you. My last word again is just keep on giving your best in everything that you do, and at the same time enjoy every moment, savor every moment, because we don't know if it's going to be our last. I think when you look back, it's not really about the accomplishments, but how you felt when you were doing it. what was the feelings? How did you enjoy that life, di ba? Hindi lang yung accomplishment lang, pero ano yung enjoyment na naramdaman mo. And so, I hope that you are enjoying every moment, savor every moment, while you are producing the results, that you want to create in your life. And keep on being grateful for every moment.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Carla. And thank you so much also to the people who made me look good for today. Maraming salamat, Martin Uy, for this Barong Bayani. Thank you so much for the shoes. And of course, maraming salamat kay Arian Manzano for making sure that I am presentable today. And of course, my key takeaway maybe coming from this episode is always challenge the status quo for you to become a better leader all the time. You never stop evolving, you always grow because there will always be change around you and you should always be on top of it, being a good leader that you want to be. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Build Different Podcast. My name is Jasper Tiongson. Thank you so much and join us in our next episode.
All right. Thank you.
The Built Different Podcast would like to thank Henry's Cameras, Power Mac, Hollyland, Ugreen Philippines, Shoppertainment Live, Kappa Cabina, Surge Digital Media, Madcap Productions, Days Media Group, Jazz Up Communications.